These stories are inspired by the actual case files of the Office of Scientific Investigation and Research.
Would you put on your party face, please?
I feel kind of antisocial tonight.
You can be antisocial tomorrow. Here. He's a wonder, isn't he, Roy?
Yes. Love the piece that he did for the office. I might commission him to do another one for the reception area.
Oh, well. I've got a couple of paintings I'd like you to see. They're going to the Abbott Gallery in Vancouver. They're fabulous, out of this world. I think you'll enjoy the tone, color, fresh. Something anyone would be proud to have hanging over us.
Holly, put that thing away.
Say something for the camera, Nathaniel.
What's there to say?
Reviews. Aren't there any real dishes?
Yeah, Barry took all the kitchen stuff with him when he moved out. Guess he gave up the piano. Hope he doesn't come back for the couch.
Dad, when are you gonna get your own place? You're gonna run out of friends to house sit for.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Prager. What, here in town? No, I can be there in 20 minutes. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Based on the victim's wounds, the police think an animal may have been involved.
Let's call Cooper.
One of the witnesses claimed she saw something strange, something not quite human.
Could have been one of the party guests by the looks of them.
Well, there were reports of growling.
Hangs its victims.
From the earliest cave paintings to holograms, art transcends the boundaries of culture and time, uniting us in a common language. Then what of the possibility that a painting could act as a psychometric conduit between the spirit world and our own? In case file number 721219, the OSIR uncovered a terrifying link between an artist and his work.
How'd he get up there? No access from the roof. How long's he been dead?
About 2 hours. Ray's police contact called us just after the body was discovered.
Okay, let's start talking to witnesses.
I made a copy of the guest list. Most of them are still here.
Roy Clifton was strung up with a dog's leash.
Some guard dog. How'd the attacker get the leash off him without getting bitten?
Maybe it was someone the dog knew and trusted.
Okay, let's start with the owner.
Most distressing. Thank you.
You must be Victor Mazarek.
Must I?
Lindsay Donner. I'm with the Office of
Scientific Investigation and Research. Yes. Yes, the police told me you were involved.
This must have come as quite a shock.
Yes. Roy Clifton was one of our best clients.
How long was Mr. Clifton alone before you heard his screams?
About 2 minutes, if that.
And how do you explain that your dog's leash was used to hang the body?
I can't. But I believe I know what you should be looking for.
And what's that?
Think about it, Miss Donner. A full moon, a vicious animalistic attack with supernatural overtones. Are you familiar with the story of Peter Stube?
One of the earliest known cases of a werewolf. He was reportedly responsible for the murder
And consumption of many men, women, and children.
Yes.
Likely a very evil man, but persecuted nonetheless. They tore his flesh away with burning tongs before they finally cut off his head. I sincerely hope we've come a little way from the mob mentality of 1589.
Well, you're certainly up on your werewolf lore.
We all have a dark side. It's just a question of allowing it to surface.
Cause of death was a C3 fracture. The spinal cord was severely crushed. Did you hear that one of the witnesses thinks it was a werewolf?
Well, Claire, you notice these scratches on the face and the neck? Likely caused by a carnivore.
Yeah, a wolf.
No, Claire. Wolves are not cold-blooded killers. In fact, they're more benign than most people think. Besides, I don't know any werewolves that would take the time to strangle their victims.
You know werewolves.
These ones are superficial. They didn't kill him.
But it looks like his eyes were punctured with a sharp instrument. See, it broke through the cornea and the sclera, penetrating the vitreous body.
Well, it's not uncommon for members of the canine family to go for the soft tissue, but in that case, it would mean the eyeball would be missing. You know, like swallowed.
I'm gonna take a sample of the remaining blood and vitrium. We'll send this back to Central Lab. If our attacker left anything in here, well, the DNA analysis will let us know if it was animal or human.
My money's on the human.
People do horrible things, don't they?
Did you know Roy Clifton very well?
Maybe you really should talk to Victor. I leave all the business to him. He loves all the parties and the openings and handshaking, schmoozing. I really just want to be left alone to work. I don't mean to sound inhospitable, but I've just got an awful lot to get done. Can we talk while I work?
Sure. It must be great to feel such passion for what you do.
It's pretty all-consuming.
Well, Miss Donner, always a pleasure. Oh, have I interrupted something?
No.
So, is the tea ready? Must I see to it myself?
How well do you know Victor Mazarek?
I've been working for him for about 8 months. I started when he first discovered Asnar. Asnar was that mythical overnight success. Sold every one of his paintings and never looked back.
Must be tough for an artist to get that first big break, huh?
Tell me about it. And Asnar was a complete outsider. Victor found him in a mental health facility and arranged for his release.
You know why Asnar was there?
He had himself committed. convinced he was a danger to himself and those around him. But he doesn't have a violent nature. He's more, I don't know, sad.
Ah, a suffering artist.
Victor is only interested in the artist as social outcast. The darker the muse, the more passionately he represents them. But I think Asnar's a bit of a disappointment to Victor. I mean, look at his work. There's nothing dark about it.
You mentioned you had a videotape of the party.
I don't know if it'll be of any help. It's just raw footage.
Can I see it?
Sure, I'll go get it.
Okay.
Asnar has a remarkable talent, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's strange. Usually, this kind of stuff doesn't do anything for me.
But you see something else. I know. I felt the same way the first time I saw his work.
From my Prager.
Ava Mingen. The police asked me to speak with you. I was one of the guests last night.
Oh. You an artist?
Oh, no. I'm a dealer. I represent Asnar's work overseas.
You see, Roy Clifton going to the office last night?
Victor took him back there to see some recent commissions.
You see him come up?
I don't remember. But I never liked him. I prefer people who are more genuine.
I'd appreciate a list of Asnar's overseas buyers. Anyone who's purchased paintings in the last 8 months.
I'm sure I could put something together for you.
Matt, Dana called.
Oh, no.
It must be great having her stay with you.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to fit her in, you know?
Well, you could break down and buy a house. That would give you a home base.
Well, that's just it. Well, when are we ever in one place long enough to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, besides, it's so much easier to wait for a friend's marriage to break up so you can crash at his house.
Okay, you got me. Let's move this along. This was part of a performance piece Mazarek's assistant, Holly, was doing.
There's the victim. Roy Clifton, an investment banker. He did very well, purchased a total of 3 Asnars over the past couple of months, including this one, which was used as the centerpiece for the gallery opening.
I think we got some footage of him leaving the room.
Hold it there a sec. What is that?
A shadow?
Yeah, Holly mentioned seeing a shadow that night, but I don't see a light source that could cause that.
Looks like it's coming from the painting, almost...
You suggesting a ghost stepping on it there, Pete?
Yeah, whatever. Let me just run an analysis on the pigment so I can rule out any ectoplasmic activity.
Sure, poltergeist, werewolf, whatever. Just as long as we solve this thing before anybody else gets hurt. Lindsay, how's the background coming on Mazarek?
Well, there's not much to tell. He's owned the gallery for 6 years. He has a keen eye for talent. Master's from Queen's, PhD from Oxford. He's creepy, but he's clean.
How about Asnar?
I'm still working on it, and Anton's trying to get a hold of his psychiatric records.
Good. Well, we still got to go through these transcripts of the party guests. I haven't learned anything from them so far, except one man's garbage is another man's art.
Holly Morton.
What happened to her, Claire?
Identical MO to the attack on Roy Clifton. Eyes ground into the sockets, cause of death, broken neck.
Doesn't make any sense. Why her?
Well, did she witness the attack on Clifton? Maybe she could have identified the killer.
I guess we'll never know. Ray's coordinating with the police to set up surveillance at the gallery.
Central Lab found traces of saliva on the samples that I took from the eye sockets. But the results were very puzzling. They don't match any standard tests.
Definitely not genus Canis. So that lets our wolf friends off the hook. Now, same goes for the Rottweiler. There were no traces of the dog's hair on the victims, none of the victim's blood on the dog.
Do you feel responsible?
Yes, I do.
But could you have prevented it?
We're always there for the aftermath. I fill out my report. And we move on.
That sounds so cold. So detached. I feel the same way, you know. Traveling all the time. Never staying in the same place too long. It's difficult to meet people.
I gave up even trying.
What about your family?
Oh, I have a daughter.
Does she live with you?
No. She's on temporary loan. How'd you know I was divorced as a show?
Yes. Your work must be hard on both of you.
Yep. I mean, I love spending time with Dana. But to be honest, it's hard to play daddy 24 hours a day.
Does she understand?
As much as she can. I mean, she's 14.
Sometimes it's easier to keep the people you love at a distance.
I'm sorry, you don't want to hear all this.
I do.
My father built me a treehouse when I was 8. My little brother was trying to climb up. He was 4. Didn't want him in my treehouse. But I could feel him tugging at the rope ladder, calling me to help him up. I got so mad at him. Yanked at the rope ladder.
Is that what happened?
Hold him up there, and when I saw his face, somehow the rope had gotten caught around his throat. He looked surprised.
It was an accident. You were only a child.
Is that what you saw in your nightmares?
No. They're always the same. The sensation that something's about to happen. There's a tree in the middle of the room, a fruit tree. Don't remember seeing it there before. I noticed there's strange markings on the trunk of the tree, but when I get close enough to read what's carved on the bark, there's a knock at the door.
Do you know who it is?
No. But he just keeps knocking. He's not angry. He's just persistent. Relentless. I should answer the door, but the color, it's so vivid.
Anything interesting?
Nothing so far. I've done x-rays. I'm just gonna run a standard pigment analysis. How'd your interview with Asner go?
I'm worried about him. His psychiatric records show a history of clinical depression. And his nightmares. He's harboring this tremendous guilt over his brother's death. It's been festering in him for 20 years.
Well, Ray seems to think his alibi checks out. I can't help but feel that he's got to be connected to these deaths somehow.
Peter, I don't see how he could be. Look at this. Look at his work. I mean, it's passionate. It's full of life. It's got broad, confident brushstrokes. There's so much joie de vivre in this painting.
I don't know, Anton. Just looks like another landscape to me. I prefer music. Give me a Clapton or a Mayle. Now, those guys, they're real artists.
Dana, I'm not gonna be able to make the movie this afternoon. I'm sorry, something came up. But tomorrow night, you, me, and our favorite takeout, okay? Okay, well, all right, don't stay up too late. Okay, bye, sweetie. Hi, sorry I'm late.
No, you're not.
Do you want to go somewhere and go over the list?
I have a confession to make. I don't have it yet. I wanted to call you, but then I thought I'd rather see you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't call.
Where's Matt?
Apparently, he went to see another witness, Ava something. He was pretty vague about it.
Yeah, I think she's Asner's overseas dealer.
I didn't know he had another agent. Have you met her?
No.
You know, Matt doesn't usually get this involved with witnesses. Does he seem, I don't know, a little distracted to you?
You know, I think he's feeling guilty about not spending enough time with Dana. She's only here for a couple of weeks. But anyway, I x-rayed one of Asner's paintings and I found what is known as pentimento.
Evidence of an earlier painting ghosting through?
Yeah, someone's up in their art history. Yeah, actually, there was an underlying image that is starting to appear through the central landscape. But what we didn't count on is the pigment. I sprayed it with luminol.
Luminol?
Let me show you something. He's not painting in oils.
I compared the samples to Asnar's medical records. The blood on the paintings belongs to him.
It wasn't from Holly or Clifton?
No, all the underlying sketches were painted with Asnar's blood.
Well, that'd explain his anemia.
Yeah, Anton feels that this kind of self-destructive behavior is consistent with his profile.
Yeah, I get depressed. I don't put my blood into my work.
Just your heart and soul.
Wait till you see this. Now, I've been working on the video image. It's still a little bit grainy, but you can see a definite shape.
It looks human.
I think it's worth you talking to our favorite artist again. Sorry you didn't bag your werewolf on this one, Cooper.
Yeah, well, there's another full moon again next month. No, really, Matt, you're still dealing with a monster here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. But whatever it is, it's more violent, more bloodthirsty than any animal I've ever encountered.
You taking off already?
Yes and no. I gotta go meet Ava, go over a few more details.
Didn't you already talk to her?
This woman's amazing.
I take it she's attractive.
It goes way beyond that. I mean, it's like she can read my thoughts before I even form them. I tell her stuff I've been afraid to think about.
Oh. Well, don't worry about the investigation. We're all over it. But hey, listen, I wanted to ask you something. Can I be an usher? It's a great way to get dates. Oh, the poor guy.
Mr. Asner? Mr. Asner?
Oh, God. He's painting with his own blood.
This case keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, let me know what Lindsay gets out of Mazarek.
Got it.
Thanks, Pete.
Do you mind?
Listen, Ava, did you know Asner was painting with his own blood?
Yes. It's primal expression. Did you know the artist Jericho meticulously collected and arranged corpses for his raft of the Medusa? He wanted to make sure that he was capturing the torment and suffering of those dying sailors.
Don't you think that's taking it a little too far?
He was in touch with this pain. How'd you deal with yours?
What?
You can't hide it. You're a man who has seen too much. You have nightmares.
Yeah. We all have nightmares.
Yes, but yours are real. The victims of terrible events. People facing tragedy. Looking up to you for answers.
2 people are dead. We haven't come up with anything. Nothing.
Hello?
Starting without me, Miss Donna?
I was just looking for you.
Goya, tais-toi. Ça suffit. He doesn't like his personal space being invaded. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Did you know that Asner is literally bleeding himself to death?
I'm not his therapist. Who am I to interfere with the artistic process? He used to paint portraits of people mutilated and disemboweled. Not the kind of thing a buyer wants hanging over his fireplace.
So you encouraged him to paint tranquil landscapes instead, using his own blood as primer.
He needed to learn how to channel his passion into a viable commercial talent.
What about his overseas dealer? Does she know about this?
He doesn't have an overseas agent. I'm his only representative. I found him, I made him. I make all his arrangements.
Well, who is Ava, then?
I have absolutely no idea.
The first painting was enough, but then one day I blacked out. And when I came to, both my hands were bleeding. The canvas was dripping blood. I was horrified. I started covering the blood with paint. And the most amazing images flooded my head. That was the beginning. After that, I found I couldn't stop. Doesn't mean anything without the blood. Without it, I blank. I can't concentrate.
And the starting point is always a demon?
Yeah. An inspiration.
Have you seen Matt?
Not since you went to talk with Ava.
Ava, right. Except Mazark's never heard of her.
You know, maybe Asnar's working on a deal to cut Mazarek out.
That doesn't sound like Asnar. Let's have another chat with him.
Yeah, I better talk to Matt, too. I don't think he's gonna be too happy when he finds out his favorite contact's been lying to him.
Is this relationship entirely professional?
No comment.
Hello?
Hi, Dana, it's Peter Axon. Is your dad around?
No, he's supposed to be home for dinner.
Where is he?
I think he's out with that woman.
Ava.
I don't know, the one who's helping him with the case. He's always with her.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. If you see him, tell him to give me a call, will you?
Sure.
Who leaves their door unlocked in this neighborhood?
Mr. Asner? Nathaniel?
Mazarek.
Oh my God, he's still alive.
How's Mazarek?
Still in a state of shock, and his throat has been crushed, so he won't be talking to us for a while.
Yeah, we found him just in time.
Same memo.
Blinded, slashed, strung up.
What are we missing? It's not good enough. We found him in time. We should have been able to prevent this.
We tried to reach you last night. I guess your cell must have been off.
Yeah, I was on an interview.
With Ava?
She's been very helpful compiling information on Asnar and Mazarek.
You know, we're not sure that she is who she claims to be.
What?
Mazarek's never heard of her, and neither has Asnar.
Well, she works for him.
Well, apparently she's been lying to you about that.
Wait a second. You're calling her a liar? You've never even met her.
I ran a background check on her, Matt, and I came up with nothing. Not a trace.
I never ordered a background check.
I don't need you to order me to do my job.
Lindsay's just trying to cover the bases, that's all.
When I need help assessing a witness, I'll ask for it.
Look, we're just trying to do our job. Ever since this investigation started, your head has not been in it.
You haven't been around. While we've been covering for you, 2 people have died. And you are too busy setting up your next date to even notice.
Excuse me. My personal life is just that. Personal.
Found him cowering in the basement of his building, totally disoriented. Could barely remember his name, splattered in blood. I thought Matt would like to talk to him before we turn him over to the cops. By the way, where is Matt?
He's on his way. Now, according to the toxicology reports, there's no evidence of drugs or alcohol in his system.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Asner. Mr. Asner. Can you tell us what happened last night?
Where's Victor?
Victor Mazarek's recovering in the hospital.
Was he attacked like the others?
I'm afraid so. He's in critical condition, but he's expected to pull through.
Do you remember where you were last night?
Last night, I was painting at the loft. And, I remember feeling tired. And then nothing. I woke up here.
So the blackouts are still happening.
Blackouts, yeah.
That's convenient.
Do you think I had something to do with this? Because I don't remember. I'm afraid I'm connected to these deaths. I didn't kill these people, but these feelings, these nightmares.
The fruit tree in your loft?
There's more. Another one recently. I dream I'm making love to this beautiful woman. She's perfect. She's... her skin. I run my fingers over her body. I kiss her shoulder. Oh, I want to kiss her lovely mouth, but...
What is it?
Her face, covered in a shroud. I pull it back. I want so badly to see her face and her eyes.
What is it, Nathaniel? What do you see?
She's not human. She's missing these huge dark sockets where her eyes should be. I'm crazy. I shouldn't be out in the world. I need to be locked up.
Nathaniel, this has got to stop. Now look, you're hiding behind your guilt, and you must stop doing that.
I can't help it.
Yes, you can. Look, you're a gifted artist, and you make a valuable contribution to this world. This self-defeating attitude isn't going to do anyone any good.
But my brother...
Your brother's death was an accident. Nothing more. It's time to stop blaming yourself.
I hate to mix business with pleasure, but there's something I have to ask you.
Something personal.
Kind of. My investigators have been talking to Asnar. What is it? What's going on?
She's a monster! Didn't you see her?
Dana, don't you know when to quit?
Let her go.
There's a recurring motif in all of Asner's work. You see the simple repetition of angular lines?
That could be his signature brushwork.
Or letters. Ava. Why would Asner paint her name? He doesn't even know her. And yet she's tied into his work.
You know, when he was talking about purging his demons onto the canvas, he was driven. It was like it was coming from somewhere else.
A forced vision. What if this Ava is feeding on his negative energy?
She could be an entity. Dana? You okay? Where's your dad?
When I first saw you in the gallery, I knew you hated the shadow. That makes you very special to me. You need to embrace that shadow, Matthew. Succumb to it. That's what draws you into your work. The mysteries of the dark side. You don't need to be an observer, Matthew. You can become a part of it. Let me take you there.
It's like she's got total power over him or something. It's just... You guys will think I'm crazy, but... I thought I saw her change into something.
I'm gonna show you something. It may be a little frightening, all right?
Oh my God. That's her, that's what she turned into.
I want you to stay here with Dr. Hendricks. I'm gonna find Matt.
I'll find Asner. We're not sure. But when you first started painting this image in blood, you were emotionally vulnerable. We think the demon preys on people in their darkest hour. You're not alone. One of our own team members is going through this now.
So these images aren't really mine?
Something else was controlling the brush, feeding on your guilt. But you're stronger now. You can take control. You have to destroy the demon.
You mean my paintings?
Final case log. Since the destruction of Asnar's paintings, the murders connected to his art have ceased. We strongly believe that a malevolent force was released through his work. We're still trying to determine the origin of the strange pendant left behind. Blah, 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 blah. This can wait.
Hey, look at this one. I could have pool parties every time I come to visit.
Just what I need. All the neighborhood kids in my backyard.
Pray you're out.
When we come face to face with the unknown, our first instinct is often fear. Later, we try to rationalize and come to a logical explanation for something that defies logic. Perhaps we should trust our own initial instincts. For Psi Factor, I'm Dan Aykroyd.